So this should be on. I think it's loud.
Sounds like it's on.
Dell's going to let us know. Dell's going to let us know when 10 o'clock is. Yeah. Okay, I did their second one. We did one already. I know, it's already, that's it, it's like, yeah.
It's infinite,
There's no
isn't it?
yeah. Thank you, Lani. I put a couple things out. Go ahead and read Lani.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome to everyone on Facebook, YouTube, and Zoom, and here in the room. And so let's get started with a couple. Oops.
Are you on?
Oh my God.
You want to do it again? Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
This is about learning
Yes, thank
through
you.
our failures
Thank you,
over
Dell.
time.
Dell was
And
like,
so I have to remember to put the mic on again.
yeah, let's try that again.
Okay, so good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome to everyone on YouTube, everyone on Zoom, everyone on Facebook, and here in the room. And so let's get started with two of our community songs.
I release and I let go. The Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. It's my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here. I am free. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. All right. Good morning and welcome. There's only one of us. How about that? Huh. There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. All right, everybody now. Only one, no, only one, only one, no, only one, only one, no, only one. Here we go. One, two, three, four. There is only one of us. In your ears it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. Only one, no, only one. Only one, no, only one. Only one, no, only one. There's only one.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And welcome again to everyone who's joined us on YouTube, Facebook, Zoom, and here in the room. Good morning. I'm Reverend Lani Howard. I'm honored to be with you this morning. And it is my pleasure to remind us of who we are as a community. We are a radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, supportive community that celebrates the diversity of creation. We strive to live authentic, spiritual lives through a practical application of the teachings of science of mind. We engage in sacred practices that uplift our spirit, deepen our awareness, and ignite our soul's self-expression. We demonstrate active compassion to ourselves, each other, and the world. We experience meaningful contribution through giving generously of our time, our talent, and our treasures. We intentionally promote our community and our teachings because we think they work. We have demonstrated that in our own lives. So one of the ways we demonstrate our inclusiveness is through a candle lighting ritual. So Reverend Madeline Wade is going to assist me in this process. So we light these candles to celebrate the unity of all peoples, all faiths, all beings, and all life. We light the first candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for Taoism, honoring the path of ultimate reality, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the middle way and path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the teachings of Jesus as the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought teachings, honoring the metaphysical paths of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles of love and law. And we light the 10th candle for absolute inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome and celebrated here. And we light the final candle, honoring the infinity of oneness as all creation, seen and unseen. Thank you, Madeline. And now I'm going to turn it back over to our musicians for our next community song.
When I was a boy, each week, Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread. Everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, Jesus made the water wine. I remember feeling sad, miracles don't happen still. Now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small. An even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, I barely met my fingertips. But now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven second-rate hand-me-down. But now I'm walking with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything, everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face. Say it's not a testament, that'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come. Say it's not a sacrament, I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. Made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then, because everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven second-rate hand-me-down. But I walk with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now.
Wonderful. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So this is our time of announcements, and the information slides are on the screen if you are seeing us via live stream. And there's a handout for those of us in the room that's over on the table there about all the announcements. So if you need one, please raise your hand and Judy could bring you one. So we are open. We're continuing to meet in person in alignment with the current Nevada County public health orders, which requires all individuals, regardless of vaccination status, to wear face coverings when indoors in public settings and businesses. We are continuing to use our beaded necklace communication system to indicate our individual preferred level of interaction with others. So a red set of beads says, "Please don't touch me, and please honor that I choose to stay 6 feet away from you and have space between us." And of course, we're wearing our mask. Yellow, "I'm still figuring out what's comfortable for me, so please just ask me." And then green, "I'm okay interacting in close physical proximity, handshakes, and even hugs." So if we're wearing green, that's the story. And there are also little signs over on the table there that say, "Please reserve this seat." So if you want to make space around yourself, you can put those on the seats so that they know not to sit there. Additionally, we asked if you have been exposed to or are experiencing any symptoms of anything that's possibly communicable, please stay home and join us via live stream. And if you do happen to test positive for COVID within a week of having been here in person, please contact Reverend Rafe immediately so that we can be in integrity with contact tracing. Thank you so much. For the parent support group, due to scheduling conflicts and the business of the holidays, there will be no more meetings through December. They will resume meeting in person here at the center Thursday evenings from 6 to 7 p.m. on the first Thursday in January. So if you have a question about the group or a different day that would be better to fit your schedule, please email Reverend Rafe at sierracenter.org. Our annual pledge and membership recommitment drive is still happening, so we're still collecting pledge cards, and that's also signifying, yes, I want to continue to be a member. So even if you haven't decided about pledging, please let us know if you want to continue to be a member. You can also reach out by calling the office at 530-274-1018 and leave a message there and let us know what you want to do there. And you can also go to our website, sierracenter.org, and click on the little blue box that says 2022 Pledge Card and complete your pledge card online. So that's wonderful. We have 2 openings on the Board of Trustees. So being a trustee is a sacred service, caring for the fiscal solvency and well-being of our Sierra Center. And it really is a spiritual practice. I want to let you know that that's the case. So being a trustee is a sacred service providing counsel support to our senior minister. And we are looking for people with the passion and skills for fundraising, marketing, and financial management. So if you have those skills, please come and apply. Board applications are available at the center and can be emailed. So reach out to Juanita by calling the center and leaving her a message, and she'll assist you. Friday, December 24th at 6 p.m., we will gather to celebrate the birth of consciousness in physical form and light candles in a sacred ceremony, saying yes to a new birth of consciousness in our own lives. There is a vision board workshop Saturday, January 1st, from 12 to 4 p.m. $25 includes the workshop and all the materials. And registration is available in person after service and online through our Square store, which is sierracsl.store.square.site. So check that out. The Going Deeper weekly discussion group is Wednesday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. And they will be using the weekly spiritual practice suggested in the newsletter each week after the Sunday talk to spark a deeper experience of putting our teachings into practical application. And this is philosophy that is about practical application. You may also want to purchase the CSL 2022 Spiritual Journal. It's coordinated with the monthly and weekly 2022 talk and themes. It contains 2 pages each week for your notes on the weekly talks, your personal reflections, your gratitude, and your goals. It contains positive affirmations for each week and an at-a-glance calendar for 2022. And it is $14.95 plus shipping at shopcsl.org. So check that out. That would also be a wonderful way of deepening your spiritual practice. And so now we are on our time of inward shift. And so I am going to invite Reverend Madeline Wade here to talk about our community value of gratitude.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, gratitude, one of my favorite things. I actually came across a reading by David White, one of my favorite poets. And I did abridge it, but I wanted to share it with all of you today. So this is by David White. It's out of his book, Consolations. So it's a short essay. Gratitude is not a passive response to something we have been given. Gratitude arises from paying attention, from being awake in the presence of everything that lives within and without us. Gratitude is not necessarily something that is shown after the event. It is the deep, a priori state of attention that shows we understand and are equal to the gifted nature of life. Gratitude is understanding that many millions of things come together and live together and mesh together and breathe together in order for us to take even one more breath of air. And that the underlying gift of life and incarnation as a living, participating human being is a privilege. That we are miraculously part of something rather than nothing. Even if that something is temporarily pain or despair, we inhabit a living world with real faces, real voices, laughter, the color of blue, the green of the fields, the freshness of a cold wind, or the tawny hue of a winter landscape. Thankfulness finds its full measure in generosity of presence, both through participation and witness. We sit at the table as part of every other person's world while making our own world without will or effort. This is what is extraordinary and gifted. This is the essence of gratefulness, seeing to the heart of privilege. Thanksgiving happens when our sense of presence meets all other presences. Being unappreciative might mean we are simply not paying attention. Breathe that in, and so it is, and we listen to more music as we go within.
Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place.
would gently just listen. Eyes closed, breathing in your own beautiful rhythm. Opening up to the peace, the love, the knowing that Spirit is always here, always in us. That divine creator created us, and we are all one. We are that beauty unleashed on the world, co-creating each wonderful experience in our lives. I just know that all the power, the grace, and the love, and the creativity of Spirit is in each and every one of us. We are perfect expressions of love, light, and God. And from this grounded being, I know and accept that we are grateful. We are light. We are healthy and well. And each decision we make is for the highest and best for everyone concerned. And I know and accept that we walk this earth with grace, ease, and deep, deep gratitude, knowing that we are truly one with the earth as well. And I know and accept that everyone who is even remotely attached to this Sunday service at the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living is beautifully blessed. We are awake. We are alert. We are listening. We are walking in grace. And I just know and accept for the world that there is food enough for all, and that distribution is handled, that no one needs to be hungry. And I also know and accept that there is comfort for anyone experiencing a disaster, a war, anything of upset, tragedy. I breathe into that and know that there is healing going on. And I am so very grateful. So I am so living in appreciation. Each step I take is an appreciation for each and every one of those beautiful people surrounding me. Those beautiful people in the state of California, those beautiful people in the United States and beyond the borders. We are all truly one. We are all blessed. We are all God's creations. So with grace, ease, knowing, and certainty that the law is in action, I accept and know that these words are fulfilled, manifest with grace, ease, and deep, deep thanks. And I let these words go with appreciation, thankfulness, trust, joy, serenity, and a knowing that they are so. So with love, light, let's join together in saying, and so it is. Thank you. Now is the time for us to share our beautiful affirmation for the day, for the week. And what we'll do is I will say it once, and then we will repeat it together. I sit in joyful expectation of the revelation of consciousness. Now together. I sit in joyful expectation of the revelation of consciousness. And so it is. And now we get more music. Thank you.
This is a song that comes to us from local artists Paul Cam and Eleanor McDonald. Rest your troubled mind. Forget about your scars, and I won't think of mine. The full moon on the rise is calling us to part. You will travel safely if you listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. You will travel safely if you listen to your heart. If the messenger is angry and the birds refuse to sing, and everyone is talking but no one hears a thing, if they tell you that you're lost and the heartache in the cards, you won't be led astray if you listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. You won't be led astray if you listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. You will travel safely if you listen to your heart. Now Caesar's got his armies, and the thieves have got the gold, and the people won't stop dancing while these fires burn in Rome. There's a brakeman with a lantern, and he's waving from a train. So come on, get on board, you can't go back from where you came. Faith is all there is, like it was at the start. You will hear that train if you listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. You will hear that train if you listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. You won't be led astray if you listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. You will travel safely if you listen to your heart.
Great choice. All right. So listen to your heart. And our journey today, the monthly theme for this month is the journey of becoming. And we are talking today about the joy of becoming. So the journey of this year is coming to an end, but we know that it's simply the beginning of another cycle, right? It's the ending becomes a new beginning. But at solstice, there's a stillness. There's a pause between the ending and between the beginning. And this is a pause that allows us to sit and be with ourselves right where we are and listen to the still small voice that speaks to us. We give ourselves over to the mystery at the time of solstice. And we open to its revelations. Now, here at the Centers for Spiritual Living, we have a global vision, and we envision humanity awakening to its spiritual magnificence and discovering the creative power of thought, a world where each and every person discovers their own personal power and ability to create an individual life that works within a world that works for everyone, and I would say everything. So one thing we cannot become, folks, is spiritual. Because we are spirit. We are spiritual beings living in a spiritual universe. So everything is spiritual. So our journey is about connecting and realizing and becoming aware of that spiritual nature that we have. Now you say, well, why didn't we just come in knowing our spiritual nature? Why didn't that didn't just happen? But as our founder and the mystic and philosopher Ernest Holmes says, the universal intelligence gave us self-choice and free will, so we're left to discover the reality for ourselves. And I think we all know that if we do something ourselves, then we know it can be done, we trust it, all of those kinds of things. So Spirit left us to discover our spiritual nature, because then we could really activate it in a way that brings forth what it truly is for us. So the first thing we have to do is to become aware of our spiritual nature. That is part of our becoming. And once we do, that is a joyful experience. Now, we've all heard the story of Moses in the burning bush, right? Or at least those of us who were raised in a Judeo-Christian world usually have heard this story about this burning bush. And Moses asks the burning bush, "Who are you? Who shall I say sent me?" And the bush answers, the voice from the burning bush answers, "I am that I am." Now, that's one translation, but there is another translation that says, "I am becoming." I am becoming. So that is the formless taking form. The formless is, it does not change, but it generates all of the different forms that we see in the manifest universe. So it generates everything out of the one. Now, the Bible also says that we're made in the image and likeness of this universal intelligence. And in Science of Mind, those of us in the room can see there's a symbol on the wall, but I'm going to hold up this symbol for the folks at home. This is the Science of Mind teaching symbol. And what it says is, this is a representation, and of course, all representations are flawed, but some of them are helpful. And so this one is about the power of our thought. So the upper part of this is our thought. The middle part is law. The bottom part is form. So when spirit thinks of form, it goes right down into the form. Now, we think, but we also doubt, fear, have anxiety, have all of these things. So that doesn't exactly activate this process. But if we have a thought to which we are committed, to which we have emotion and passion, then it goes from the thought through the law. And what the law does is it responds to that emotion associated with that thought. And it returns to us the vibration of things. It sets forth a vibration that attracts to us those things that we have thought with emotion. So that's why, when we think love, peace, joy, harmony, we are generating a generative energy that is drawing a vibration that brings to us those experiences. But the opposite is true. If we're thinking fear, the book of Job says, "That which I feared most has come upon me." So fear is also very generative. It will send that energy out and it will bring you what you fear. So we want to be aware of our thoughts. We want to be aware of whether our thoughts are constructive or destructive. So that is another of our becomings, is figuring out what thoughts are constructive. And the way we do that is we see what shows up. What shows up in form from that thought. And then we get a chance to evolve. We get a chance to think a new thought. We get a chance to start over with a new thought and a new way of being and a new energetic vibration. So we've all been many, many things in this life. I mean, myself, well, for instance, in a trade, my father was a lithographer. So you go from being an apprentice, then you go to becoming a journeyman, and then you go to becoming a master. So there's an evolutionary trend there. First, you're learning about the thing, then you're able to do the thing, and then when you're a master, I believe, you can actually figure out how to do the thing better. You can not only do it, but you can say, oh, it would be easier if we could do it this way. And the same thing happens, I was in a hospital this week with my sister, and it's sort of like, you got your interns, you got your residents, and then you got your doctors. So they go through this evolution, they go through this becoming. They become each of those things. They become the intern, they become the resident, they become the doctor. And at each phase, there is a joy. Woo-wee, I made it from being an intern to being resident. And I made it from being a resident to starting my own practice. So it's a becoming, and we get to celebrate each phase of that becoming. We get to experience the joy of the process as we go along. Michelle Obama wrote a book called Becoming. And one of the quotes from it is, "For me, becoming isn't about arriving somewhere or achieving a certain aim. I see it instead as forward motion, a means of evolving, a way to reach continuously toward a better self. The journey doesn't end." And I heard something on the radio this morning, of course, on NPR. You all know that that's, my main station. And they were talking about the new version of West Side Story. And apparently Stephen Sondheim was there with them when they were singing the words to the songs that he wrote when he was 24. And now, he just passed away. And being an older guy, and I don't remember, I think he was perhaps in his 90s, I'm not sure, but he wrote it 60 years, he wrote that thing 60 years ago. So he was up there, and he was there tweaking the words because he thought they could be better. So, he didn't say, oh, leave them like they are, they're perfect. He said they could be better. So he made them better. And that was a blessing to the people who were singing those songs. Now, there's also times in this process when we hit a plateau. I don't know if you've ever read the book Mastery by George Leonard. He's a keto master, and he talks about the fact that people would come in and they'd start out and they'd get real excited about doing a keto, and they'd buy all the outfits and all the accoutrements and everything, and then boom, they'd hit a plateau. They got good, but they weren't getting better. The key is to stay in the plateau, to keep the practice in the midst of the plateau. Because it is a necessary part of the process. It gives us time to assimilate and to integrate our experiences. In spiritual realms, they sometimes call this the dark night of the soul, where we've gone along, we think, oh, I'm such a spiritual, I'm really exercising my spiritual stuff. And then something terrible happens and we think, oh, heck, this is not what I thought it was going to be. And keeping faith in that realm when that happens is critical. In 2008, every year I claim a word of intention. And in 2008, I claimed the word faith. And in that year, one of my beloved cousins died. My partner of 35 years died. 2 other friends died. And I'm thinking, holy moly, keeping the faith. How do I do that? How do I do that in the midst of this? But I did my practice every day. I did my practice every day. And out of that experience came the opportunity to be the senior minister here at the Sierra Center, and brought me more experiences, more joy, more fulfillment than I could ever have dreamed. So it was one of those plateaus, it was one of those places where keeping the faith was critical. But when we do, the joy of becoming absolutely gets expressed. I know that we all are in this act of becoming. And one of the things that always reminds me of the fact that because we're in nature, of nature, like the universe is continually expanding. So we are called to continually expand in some way. Maybe we become, more loving, more kind, more creative. We become something more. And the thing that really reminds me of this, and I hope you can see this is a chambered nautilus. So a chambered nautilus starts out as a little being right in the center of this thing. And then it grows. So it grows into the next largest thing. It grows into the next largest chamber. You get to the next chamber and you're like, whew, okay, that feels better. And then guess what? It gets too tight. And you have to go. You have to expand into the next chamber. And then you celebrate that. You have the joy of becoming into the larger chamber. And then it says, whoops, I got to keep going. And it keeps going and going and going, expanding and expanding and expanding until it leaves its shell entirely. It's sort of like us. We expand and we expand and we expand. We grow, we change, we discover, we become aware of our spiritual nature in a different way, in a greater way, in a more loving way, in a more peaceful way, in a more powerful way. And so we continue to do that. We've all been through many, many stages. I mean, I've been a daughter, a sister, a cousin. I've been a worker. I've been a manager. I've been a computer programmer. I've been a practitioner. I've been a minister. So I've been all of these things. And each one is an expansion, an educational experience. And I'll tell you what, one of the best ways to learn is to fail. Oh, I tell you, my first computer program that got put into production brought down Northern California. And, I had to run down to the computer person who was this very imposing woman who controlled everything. And I said, we have to back this change out. I found out it doesn't let them do this. And so she made me pay. But she did it. So, it's like that's a really good learning about testing. You got to test everything. So, failing is, I get up here and I forget to turn the dumb microphone on, right? So that's me. That's failing, and we have to learn. The thing is, we have to learn from the failure. If we don't learn from the failure, we are doomed to repeat it. So let's learn. Last week, Reverend Madeline talked all about surrender. And surrender is definitely a part of the process of becoming. Because when we're becoming something new, we have to let go of the old. It's sort of like, the snake has to shed its skin in order to reveal the new. So we have to let go of stuff. We have to let go of, sometimes we have to let go of people. Sometimes we have to let go of practices that we thought we would always do. Sometimes we have to see that something new needs to show up, and in order for it to show up, we have to let go of whatever has been there. We have all been through a challenging time in this pandemic, wearing masks, sheltering in place, social distancing, getting vaccine shots and boosters. And so as the solstice approaches, which is going to be on the 21st, let us take time to just be. We're part of nature, and plants and animals pause in this time, in this dark time. So we should too. I know we're all supposed to be out shopping and being festive but let's take a day. Let's take a day to just be. We can reflect on the past year and integrate the experiences we've had. And we can not worry about tomorrow. Just be in that moment, in this moment. Just be grateful to be alive. Grateful for all of the becomings we have experienced. And the joy and sometimes the sorrow that they have brought us, but being appreciative, being grateful. Just as the poem that Madeline read said, if you're not grateful, you're not paying attention. So being grateful just to be alive. So let us open to the light, the love, the peace, the harmony within, and know that as we become aware of that, we become more of it, and we radiate those qualities out into the world. We radiate that love. We radiate that joy. We radiate that peace. We radiate that harmony. Robert Louis Stevenson said, to be what we are and to become what we are capable of becoming is the only end of life. And what we are capable of becoming is that complete experience of our spiritual nature. And expanding the realization of those loving, giving, harmonious thoughts into the world. I would like, if you would go along with me for a moment, to just invite you to repeat after me. I am love. I am peace. I am harmony. I am wholeness. I am spirit expressing. Let's take this into prayer. All of these qualities that we have named, and so many more, are present in the infinite potential of the energy of life itself that is everywhere. That infinite potential for love, for peace, for harmony, for wholeness, for joy, for creativity, for abundance, for all the compassion, all the beauty, all the truth, all the justice, all the goodness we could ever imagine, and more is present in the infinite one that is here now, in, through, and as each one of us. And so I accept and know that in this moment we open to that joy of becoming, more of that spiritual nature, more of that loving essence, more of the good that wants to be known and experienced. We remember the words of Mother Teresa, we belong to each other. We are all connected. We are all in that divine mind, and we are all evolving together into that greater expression of spirit, of life, of harmony and wholeness. And so I am grateful for this moment, for this time together, for this realization in a greater way of who and what we are, and the infinite possibility that remains open before us. And so with great, great gratitude for this good that I know is unfolding in this moment, I release my word into the law of life itself, knowing that the law responds by corresponding to this energy and is even now bringing it into greater expression. And we affirm this together as we say, and so it is. Let's take a deep breath. So, now is the time for our conscious giving. And so we prepare our gifts, and we, if you can, hold them over your heart, or just hold your hand over your heart, as we say together our prosperity affirmation. I give this gift with love and joy from a consciousness of abundance. Divine love blesses and prospers all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. So Judy will collect any offerings here in the room. And we'll get some
God
more
is
music.
my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power, love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Joy is my source, joy is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, joy gives me everything I need. How about peace? Peace is my source, peace is my power, peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I got. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
Woo! Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's bless these offerings. All right, Judy. So we send these offerings out into the world, knowing that they are a blessing to all of those individuals and organizations that receive them, and that the blessing comes back to each giver, pressed down and overflowing. We give thanks, we call it good, and so it is. All right, thank you, thank you. We're also excited right now that we have the Giving Tree, which you can also participate in on the sierracsl.store.square.site. We're starting out with a $3,500 matching fund. This means that every contribution up to $3,500 will be matched. So your contribution is instantly doubled. So 50 becomes 100, 100 becomes 200, etc. So you can send the contributions with Christmas cards through the Postal Service, or you can drop them in our regular Sunday collection, and you can also make it online. What's critical is that you let us know that it is for the Giving Tree. We'll decorate the tree with the cards as they come in, and we've got a few cards on there right now. And if you don't have a card, just send your check and we'll go ahead and put a card up there for you. So let's prove our abundance and love for Sierra Center. So I want to take an opportunity in this moment to just thank all of our musicians. Thank you, Juanita. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Julie, for your beautiful songs and music today. I love the train. Yes, that was great. It was great. And thank you, Reverend Madeline, for being our practitioner. Thank you, Judy, for being our usher and greeter today. Thank you so much. Thank you, Del, for all your technical expertise. And thank you for our people who showed up. So, yes. And Kate brought the flowers. So thank you, Kate. Thank you so much. All right. So let's stand for our benediction. Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
It is this thing called expansion.
It is this thing called expansion.
It is this thing called becoming.
It is this thing called becoming.
It is this thing called joy.
It is this thing called joy.
I know it.
I know it.
I feel it. I sense it.
I sense it.
Because I am it.
Because I am it.
And so it is.
I give myself permission